Good morning. Welcome to the Better Business Workshop on Friday, on the weekend when the UK properly reopens. And good news coming around on the economy as well. Things start to be, Bank of England talking about things bouncing back in quite a strong way. I know that there's some mixed messages at the moment, but overall, the message from the Bank of England is pretty strong. Today's topic, then, with that in mind, is what makes a great entrepreneur. And I'm joined by my colleague. Where is he? There's me, there's him. Hello, Mark. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm doing really, really well. Work's mounting up. I've never been so busy, actually. And now it's going to get busier. So that's all good news.
Good. Yeah, no, it definitely feels like, work's, like you said, never been as busy as I have been in the last few weeks. And it definitely feels like businesses are coming back and the economy is reopening, which is great news. So what we need is a bunch of entrepreneurs, right, Mark, to kind of start capturing that opportunity. So we're going to talk today about what makes a great entrepreneur and what sets an entrepreneur apart from somebody who's just created a job for themselves. So let's get these slides working and we can get into some of this content. By the way, guys, please remember to like and share this stuff. And if you're following on playback, then please remember to follow us as well. So Mark, what makes a great entrepreneur?
I think Napoleon hit it, didn't he? He said England is a nation of shopkeepers, which was intended to be an insult, but actually is a compliment. We're a nation of people willing to take a risk and start out on our own and run businesses. So many small businesses in the UK, it's unbelievable. But an entrepreneur mentality is going to give us that extra edge rather than simply running a business and keeping ourselves busy on it. Yeah. So here's some things that an entrepreneur is really, really good at. And as you get into getting your business efficient with systems and processes and people, the kind of stuff that we've talked about, freeing ourselves from the business, it gives us a chance to do number one. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Mark? And number one is we start to spot other things that we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess just to set this up, Mark, so many people start a business, and then a lot of businesses are being started right now because people have been made redundant. But so many people start a business in what we might call normal times because either they don't like their boss, they don't like their manager, they think they can do it better, right? And generally they'll leave, they'll go and set up a business because they're really good at what they do, and they think they can do it better than their boss or previous manager used to do it, right? And what they find very, very quickly is when they go and start that business on their own, what they've actually created for themselves is a job, right? The job that they had before in the other company. And then they realize that they have all the other issues that they have to grapple with that their previous boss was grappling with as well. So what sets the person who's created themselves a job apart from the person that's created an entrepreneur? And as you said, the first thing is entrepreneurs are great at spotting opportunities. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be great at doing what it is that needs to be done. They just see the opportunity to make the money, right?
Yeah, and a lot of us in business thinking, well, how does a really great entrepreneur work? Well, the trick is having time to spot opportunities and time to see things that you wouldn't have normally seen. How do you get the time? The time is gained by running your business in such a way that it begins to free you up. It's exactly the same point, Mark. Instead of getting dragged down into another job, we make our business efficient and effective without us. So we've got more time, we see more opportunity, and then we can begin to do more things. Yeah. Number two is important, and being able to get funding. My suggestion on this one, having set up a number of businesses, my suggestion for this one is this: you don't have to be a smart financier. You don't have to be a massive risk taker. Yeah. What you have to do is know a lot of people. Yeah. So what you need to do is get in touch with good people who have conversations, and suddenly doors start to open. But again, that requires time. How do you get the time? Make your business efficient without you. Then the time will come and the opportunities and the funding will be there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we spot opportunities, we're able to fund them properly. And then the third aspect is we bring in people to help us grow the business. We don't try and do it all ourselves, right?
And from the outset, starting a business at the moment with a colleague, but right at the outset, we're talking about how are we going to get people to do these jobs, rather than, my goodness, this is great, we've got some interest in what we're doing, let's go and do it, which is creating more work for us. It's we've got some interest in what we're doing, what's the strategy for getting other people to do it?
Yeah.
Really, really smart piece of advice that I picked up some time back. Don't do stuff. Start looking for other people to do stuff very early.
Absolutely. All right. Good stuff, Mark. So moving on then. So I guess kind of, you know, what kind of, how do we want to kind of reflect back on life? You know, do we want to, this idea of being an entrepreneur versus creating a job?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when we kind of reflect, it boils down to kind of what kind of pain we want.
Yeah. There's a fascinating, it sounds a little sad. I don't want to be sad on a Friday, but a study of people who are near the end of their lives and what their biggest regrets are. And their biggest regrets, all of us biggest regrets, are overwhelmingly not what we did, but what we did not do.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest regret, and that's the biggest pain. And as you say, there's pain in looking for opportunities, but there's a lot more pain if you think, I wish I'd have done that.
Yeah. So great entrepreneurs have the discipline of managing systems and processes for their business.
Yeah.
Right? Doing the tough things, you know, tracking, measuring, keeping score, putting in systems, putting in processes, recruiting people. But being an entrepreneur is actually about having the discipline to run the systems and the processes and all of those things that I just mentioned, right? So the success of being an entrepreneur comes from taking the pain now, rather than putting off doing that and having the regret, as you mentioned, later, that you wish that you had.
Yeah. And though running a business is hard, in a way it's easy because we know it. Actually doing our own business and working in our own business, the hardest step up is to say, okay, I'm going to get systems and processes in to free me, to give me time, and then other opportunities start to come.
Yeah, absolutely. So great entrepreneurs have got the discipline. Good. All right. So the final part of being a great entrepreneur then, Martin, this is very relevant right now in terms of where people are at, right?
Yeah, and we were talking about some of the stuff you and I have done in the past, Mark, and just to compliment you on air, as it were, Mark was talking about some things, and it was clear that his persistence and his determination got him through situations, and that in all of the research about what makes a successful business is the one key character trait that sets people apart. It's not intelligence, it's not finance, it's actually persistence. I said a very quick story, Mark, 30 seconds. Churchill went to a boys' school during the war to give a speech. The whole school apparently was waiting in anticipation. Everybody was on nervous and waiting for this fantastic speech to all the boys that were at the boys' school. And he stood up and he said the words, "Never, ever, ever, ever give up." And then he sat down again. Yeah, and I remember that. I think, A, how bold to do a speech like that, but B, how accurate is that? How good is that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, great quote, Mark. Brilliant. Thank you for the Churchill thing. Yeah, absolutely. Look, you know, a lot of us are picking ourselves up right now and dusting ourselves off after having a bit of a hiding over the last 3 months, quite frankly. And you know, what's as great entrepreneurs, it's all about getting back in the game, or use an Americanism, asking for a rematch.
Right. Yeah. Just don't give up.
As soon as you get knocked down, you got to stand back up again and just keep on going. Figure out what went wrong. Have the persistence and the determination to keep on going, because that's how winners win, right? And that's how entrepreneurs thrive. Brilliant, Mark. Fantastic. Thank you. This next slide is going to say, come and if you like what we had to say there, come and join us over in the Better Business Workshop. There's a ton more content like this over in our social media communities on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Just search for the Better Business Workshop. If you want to jump on a call with us, then come and book something in our diaries at calendly.com/Action Coach Milton Keynes. And there's also a ton of stuff, including all of our events. We've got a very packed calendar in July. And you can find out all the details of that over on the website at miltonkeynes.actioncoach.uk. This says, see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. I won't be here tomorrow at 8 a.m. I will be back here on Monday. Mark, the nation is... The pubs are reopening tomorrow. They're calling it Super Saturday, right?
Yeah. I think most people will be wise and probably go in, get the drink, and go outside again. I think it's probably the wise thing to do for the next few months.
Good, absolutely, Mark. Have a brilliant weekend.
Yeah,
enjoy wherever you end up. Folks at home, whatever you end up doing, have a great weekend too, and we look forward to seeing you on Monday. Cheers now.
Yep. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Mark.